Hey guys and gals, hey guys and gals, what is good? What is good? How is it going today? This fine day? Hope your day is going awesome, going great. That helps. Let's go. Quickly make sure we're good on the stream. Going great. Perfect. Awesome. Sawsome. How is it going? Quick shout outs to supporters, subscribers of the channel. It's great to have you. Well, I guess I'll do that. We'll get right to it, I guess. Just kind of clicking the wrong thing, but that's okay. It's no big deal. Just want to kind of give you guys shout outs quickly. Too much information here. Okay, what am I looking for again? Am I on the right one? Right here. Maybe it's this one. Probably have the wrong one open. Here we go. Yes, now I got it. Shout outs to latest supporters, followers of the channel here on Twitch. It's great to have you. YouTube. It's great to have you as well. Right now I don't have any shout outs, but on Twitch I do. Every single one of you, beautiful, intelligent, awesome people, 120 IQ and greater. Let's go. Here we go. Nicole Trace 66, Bart number 1, Jim Jam 1238, Kazert 20, Gavin 555, and lastly Kamikaze ML. Let's go. Thank you for the warm follows. Appreciate it. Truly do. Truly mean that. Yeah, I could do this actually. Let's do it. It's been a minute. Right here. Excuse me. Awesome. I love doing that. That's for you guys and gals supporting the channel. Johnny WhiskeyTango coding. Appreciates y'all. Yeah, I truly do. I truly do. All right, let's get going, shall we? Get your learning brain on. Flick that switch. Click. Let's start learning, guys and gals. Appreciate the views as well. Whoever you are, wherever you are, thank you so much for the views. It's truly awesome. It's awesome. I can't say it enough. Cannot say it enough. Okay. All right. Music is fine, I hope. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think it's just right, guys. I hope you can hear me just fine. Now, let's continue, okay? A final word of caution about comments. Okay, we're going to continue with our course here, guys. We'll do a little bit review, not much, just trying to get through it quickly and keep the train going, keep this train going. Again, if you need to review or follow up, just I don't know, each video, you could take notes or whatever you need to do. However, whatever learning methods you use, by all means, use what you need. Review notes, reflect on your review notes, and it's great to have you here. Thank you for watching. Let's continue. Okay, comments that state the obvious are less than useful. Okay, let's not be a Captain Obvious, all right? I don't want to go on a sidetrack, but I laugh at people that are Captain Obviouses. Gee, thanks, Captain Obvious. Most of us already know that. Thanks for saying what we already know. NPC, literal NPC. It's like a fish telling all the other school of fish, "Hey guys, look! It's water!" I'm hilarious. I know I am. All right, let's continue. Some people just aren't real thinkers, Gotta give them some time. Okay. In fact, they can be counterproductive because the code might change and the programmer might neglect to update the comments. Okay, what is obvious to one person might be obscure to another. However, so judgment is required when adding comments. All right, otherwise you will get judged. The bottom line is that comments should not say what is happening. They should say, why is it happening? Okay, there we go. Excuse me. Again, the bottom line is that comments should not say what is happening. They should say why it is happening. Okay? Not the what, but the why. Okay? A lot of, especially if you're working for a company, you're going to be doing these kind of comments. They are critical. You got to think of a person that's never seen your code or whatever before, and just imagine they're seeing your code for the first time. So the notes will be there, just kind of a quick breakdown of what it's doing. And they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it, right? Just makes it easier. Okay? Now, last stream, we were working on functions. Aren't functions great? They truly are. They have so much purpose and use. I recommend you get, just grind and practice functions. Slowly ingrain it in your membrane. Store it in the old brain molecule library. That coding is line by line until it reaches a function. Basically, kind of having not a full understanding, but a slight understanding of what's happening under the hood when you run a program. Okay? Let's get there. Okay, I kind of did that yesterday, so let's see, what is this part? I think I read this part. Functions either return a value or return void, which we talked about. This one here is an int function returning a value. A void basically returns nothing, but I know it kind of sounds odd to say that, but I mean, it does return something. It returns a string of literals, or maybe just a number, but no arithmetic calculations. That's kind of what the int and float and double functions are for. right here. Okay, functions consist of a header and a body, right? This is true. Essentially, this is our header function, right? I guess you could call it and look at it like that as well, right? Our 3-part coding essay, right? Intro, body, conclusion. There's an intro part for the functions. There's the body part for our functions. And then there's the conclusion or definition of our function. Basically, what does the function do? Okay. All right. The header consists in turn of the return type, function name. I guess maybe what they're trying to say that this is the header, this is the body. I don't want to overanalyze, overconfuse this, guys. These are just parts of a function. This is, I think the best way to say this is kind of the format or the layout, right? So in the definition part, now it's a little bit different in the declaration part where you don't have the curly brackets, right? Take note of these little details, okay? In the declaration, we don't leave the, because the curly brackets are for the body, and as you can see, well, this is saying static, but we're just going to ignore that. What is static in C++? Well, I know I have it somewhere, but I don't want to spend a lot of time looking for it. So we'll just do a quick kind of search for it. The static keyword in C++ has different meanings depending on the context in which it is used. Okay, so you have static local variables within a function, and then you have static global variables. Okay, let me just bring this up on the screen so that you could kind of pause and instead of me having to read it all. Okay, it's an AI overview. You don't really again, you could read it. It's just added information for you guys and gals. Don't worry about studying it or whatever. You'll probably utilize this more when you, we, I, us all get more advanced. Okay, not saying that I'm not, but the point is we're kind of at the beginning of all this, right? We're just learning. Okay, and then of course you could have a deeper dive, right, if you want, but we're not going to do that. Okay, there was an example there. Let's get back on track. Okay, so no curly brackets, semicolon. Right? Body, when you're calling your function, all you need is the function name. Okay, again, just always have your parentheses. Those are always there. Whenever you see parentheses beside a function name, we'll call it a function name because really that's what it is. Right there, as soon as you see this, your mind is going to go, oh, that's a function. Okay? And then in the main, we're in the int main, you finish with a semicolon. All statements, right? Every statement in C++, I haven't written C code, maybe just some basic stuff. I started with C++. And then C sharp. C sharp also ends with semicolon. So all your statements, every line is a statement, okay? Ends in the semicolon. So don't forget that. Program will yell at you. And then lastly, our definition is where we have our curly brackets. Okay, no semicolon. Okay, take note of the little subtleties. All right, syntax and semantics. All right, I'm kind of like explaining little details that a lot of other channels and that don't. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the subtle differences. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of quickly read through this recap. Let's see. Let's just look at the whoops. Like this, we got two different functions here. One's just a void function, doesn't have a return. Int has a return, right? Okay, that's the difference between an int. Again, you could have int, float, and double. There's also another one called bool. We haven't talked about that yet. I've been kind of avoiding it for now. But they'll have all return types. Void's the one where you just want to like put out some information or some sort, like a statement. Okay. I believe we can also have parameters and arguments in a void function. Okay. I never really took note on that, but I'm pretty sure you can, right? So you could have maybe a string name or something to that effect. But we'll get to that. We'll do some examples, all right? Okay, let's just continue. Functions consist of a header and a body. The header consists in turn of the return type, the function name, and the parameters to that function. The parameters to a function enable values to be passed into the function. Okay, that's what the brackets do. Parentheses, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the parameters to a function enable values to be passed into the function. Again, recall if you've been following and watching along, right? Here, these are our parameters, and up here is where we pass in our arguments. Okay, that's the difference. Okay? So with your definition, you're inserting parameters. Okay? But when you call the function, that's when you're inserting your arguments. Okay? Take notes of that, guys. So that's the difference. You'll hear the two terms, parameters, arguments. A lot of people don't know the difference between the two. They kind of just assume they're the same, but really they're technically speaking, they're not. They are, but they're not. Okay? It's kind of like function method. It's still a function, but technically speaking, a method is part of a class, but it's still a function. Crazy thoughts, huh? All the little details, right? When you're working in an environment, people will get used to the coding lingo, guys. Okay? Certain keywords, certain lingo I'll say and mention. I'll explain it, and then you'll understand if somebody's talking to you in the coding lingo. It's kind of like has its own unique Star Trek-y, I don't know, type of language. I don't know why I use Star Trek. I was thinking of that other television series, you know, the guy with the alien forehead. I don't know, I forget. I never watched it, but they had their own language, you know what I mean? Anyways, let's carry on. I was more of a Star Wars guy. Star Trek, kind of watched it, not really. Anyways, the parameters to a function enable values to be passed into the function. Okay, those values are your arguments, right? You're passing in your arguments. Hence values. Okay? Thus, if the function were to add two numbers, the number would be the parameters to the function. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Here's an example of a typical function header that declares a function named blah, blah, blah. I already kind of have one, right? It's right here. Okay? I know I have spelling typos, guys. Don't worry about that stuff. The program doesn't care. Okay? I know how to spell. I'm really a bad typer. Okay? Don't cheat when you're learning typing. If you have typing in high school or whatever, don't cheat. Okay? All right? You're just cheating yourself, is the point. And I won't lie, I cheated myself. Wish I didn't. Okay, a lot of times my left hand types faster than my right hand, so I'll get the characters swapped. All right, and once you build those bad habits, they're really hard to break. And trust me, fixing your typos, because I know they're wrong, it's annoying when you got to do the same one all the time 10,000 times. It gets annoying. It does. Okay, so I recommend you don't cheat in typing class. All right? Okay. A parameter is a declaration of what type of value will be passed in. The actual value passed in when the function is called is referred to as an argument. Okay, we kind of been over that. A lot of times I'll explain the stuff and then I already kind of know what's happening in the course outline, so but we're kind of going, I don't know, it's a little bit of review, but it's also a little more reassurance for you that you guys and gals are getting the correct information, okay? All right. Many programmers use the terms parameters and arguments as synonyms. Others are careful about the technical distinction, right? I explained it. The distinction between these two terms is not critical to your programming C++, right? The program will still run. It don't care. But it's more of a technical jargon, the lingo, right? If you don't know the difference, people will kind of be a little critical, all right? So you shouldn't worry if the words get interchanged, okay? Right? You understand what they're saying. You don't have to be critical about it. Don't be that guy. The know-it-all. I think I know everything. I know how to spell car. I know what a car looks like. I've seen a car on a video. I looked at the color of a car. Oh, I must know everything about cars now. No, you don't. You just know about the car. That's all you know. That's the distinction. Lots to learn. There's always something to learn, guys and gals. That's my point. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. You can always learn something new. You can't know everything. You just can't. Okay? You can't know everything. All right, enough of that. Let's continue. Let's keep learning and growing, because every single one of you still beautiful, awesome, intelligent people. 120 IQs. Let's go. Appreciate you being here. Okay, the body of a function consists of an opening brace, 0 or more statements, and a closing brace. The statements constitute the workings of the function. A function might return a value using a return statement. The value returned must be of the type declared in the function header. I mean, technically speaking, I guess they call this a header as well. I wouldn't be too concerned, but the parts of a function. Again, parts of a function are gonna have a body as well, technically speaking, right? This would be the body. Anything inside the curly brackets. Or the block of code. You'll hear block of code. Okay? Another term. Okay. The statements constitute the workings of the function. Essentially, I highlighted the statement. A function might return a value using a return statement. Okay, I just kind of already read this. let's see. In addition, this statement causes the function to exit. Okay. Once it gets to gets to the curly bracket, it'll go back to the last position it was at in the main. Okay. Again, if you don't understand what I just said there, I recommend you watch the prior video. I go over that in much detail. And again, we're keeping the train going here. Okay? Always moving forward. That's the goal. At least I'm going to try. Okay, so right, so what they're saying about the value must be the same, right? These don't have, well, yeah, they do actually. If it's float here, it has to be float here. If it's double here, it has to be double here. That's true, yes. They do have to be the same. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself a little. All right, the distinctions, where are we? In addition, this statement causes the function to exit. If you don't put a return statement into your function, it automatically returns void or nothing. I know I kind of read that yesterday, but I believe the IDE will argue with you. If you have an int function with no return, it's probably going to argue to you that it needs a return statement. Okay? If a function is supposed to return a value but does not contain a return statement, some compilers... No, I basically just said that. Okay. So let's demonstrate another function. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of these. Okay? Let's create some new ones. I'm going to keep that. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need these local variables anymore. Again, they're local to the main. Okay. If you want to have a better understanding of local and global, I'll explain that too. Okay. Right now, just looking at these, they're local to the main. Well, because they're inside the curly brackets, so they're local to the main, right? That makes sense? Once you get outside the curly brackets, we're not local anymore, okay? All right, I could keep these variable names in here for now. It doesn't really matter. Should I get rid of this now? I don't know. I have this extra line here. Let's see, I have it there as well. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let me build it. Oh, I gotta get rid of my definitions up here, right? You can see these squiggly error lines. Well, all it's saying to me is, hey, you haven't defined them, okay? The program knows that you don't have a definition. That's why it's like this, okay? So you can actually highlight this, right click, quick actions and refactoring, create, and there we go. It sent it right to the bottom, but right there it is. Control X, V. That's the quickest way to make one. You could create it up here. Just type it up. Quick actions and refactoring. Create a declaration definition. Boom. And it even put it in the right spot. So here is the point where I have to actually put in variables now. And then just say something like return X times Y. Okay, that's pretty basic, right? So we've set up this int function so that it could take in parameters. It could take in information. It could take it in, right? Only thing we have to do is call it, right? So I mean, I guess I could probably type it. Let's see if it lets me. It might bring it up. There it is. See, it's even in the list. If you have a 3D purple cube, that means it's a function. Brackets close. And then, of course, we need to insert our arguments. Okay, so I'm going to go tr, x, comma, tr. You get a nice little pull-down list. Okay, you can see the difference in the icon and Y. Build I've called it. It should run. Let's see. I called it. Let me just figure it out. What did we do? Have I called it? I've called it. We've got this. It's up here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Inside the block of code. That's interesting. Pretty wild sauce. Pretty wild sauce. Return that. Oh, right. I'm being silly again. I keep forgetting this extra step. I did it again, guys. Okay. It's kind of a little bit of a silliness going on in my head right now. So what I need is, yes, I'm calling the function, but we got to remember it's an int function. We're returning a multiplication, right? An arithmetic process. But we haven't really stored it into anything. Okay? We're calling it, we've put in arguments, but we have to store it into something. And that's where I'm kind of being silly. Okay, so int, we need to create a new variable. And I already did this yesterday and we're doing it again. But just to re-explain, it's going to equal whatever the multiply is, right? It's going to equal that value. Okay, I'm kind of doing it in two parts now. Just remember when you're working with ints, if you don't have it returned to the console, we have to tell the console to spit it out, right? That's all it is, guys. Okay, so I'm going to tell the console to return it. Okay, we should get the number. And I could go like this, just so we know for sure. Okay, and build. Okay, I kind of did it in 3 steps. That's fine. It still all works the same. Initializing, what did I do? What? Int to int. It is an int. Why are you being like this? Okay. Alright, maybe it wants me to do it inline. It's probably what it is. Control X, Control V, build, and run. That's what it is. So this is called inline. Okay. Whoops, I actually have 2 there. Inline. Okay, it doesn't like it when you break it apart, apparently. This is all part of the learning stuff, guys. Have an open mind. Okay. Oh, it gave me the hexadecimal value. Why did it work yesterday, but today we're having issues? These are ints. There's no, okay. Well, I guess this is one way I could do it. We could reference it. I haven't really talked about this stuff yet, but I'm just going to reference them for now. Let's see what happens. I don't think I have to dereference, but let's just see. And it's still giving me the hex. You cannot dereference. Yeah, I thought so. It's not gonna like that either. Okay. All right. I don't know why I'm having issues today. Just trying to get it to display a value. And we're storing the multiplication process. It's just returning x times y. Why are you being like this? Why? It's always little things. Okay, we got rid of that. still doing that. That's messed up. Okay, I'm not sure what I did. Let's just go back to where we were. Okay, we're all the way back. Now looking at this, int mult int return 3 times x times y. Well, the only difference I had before is we had the 3. We're initializing our variables. I kind of just went undo. And it should be built. We'll build it again. F5. And see, it's giving me 8. That's interesting. Really wild. Oh, there it is, 72. So it's fine here. I don't know what's the difference, guys. Int mult trace, because we're declaring it here, all in line, same thing that I did before, and we're just returning the value. Oh, was I returning multiply? Was I being silly? Oh, I just clued in. I think that's what it was. It's my naming convention. So we're going to go back to where we were. I'm just going to, okay. All right. Oh, I know what I did. No. That's the problem with having same name stuff. Okay, there we go. That's what it was. I got it figured out. What? Oh, okay. What? Standard CO, multiply. Oh, I cut it out. That's why. There we go. Okay. Build. Make sure. That's why it was giving me hex code, guys. Because I see mult. My brain's thinking I have the correct variable, which I didn't. Right? Probably the smartest thing for me to do was to have done that. That way I didn't. Whoa, let's go. Turn it up. Appreciate you hitting the follow button. So, it's the name, right? My brain was like thinking I had the right variable, but I wasn't outputting the right variable. Let's just run it. Make sure we're good. There we go, 24. We did it. Being silly. Again, I did that. I figured it out in about 5-10 minutes. That's all part of the learning and growing and making issues, making problems. Let's go! Ducky! Turn it up. Welcome, Ducky. Jamu. How you doing, Jamu? Appreciate you being here, brother. I'm not really paying attention to chat. Usually it's quiet, guys. I remember watching you play Black Ops 3 Zombies. Yes. I still have BO3, actually. I've given up on Call of Duty because there's too many cheaters. I have real skill. They don't have any skill. So I won't play with cheaters. Yeah, I love zombies. I'll always play zombies. Zombies is fun. It's been a minute since I opened up Black Ops 3, but yeah. Let's go. Right on. Jamu. Thank you for stopping by, commenting. And Ducky. Let's go. Is it Ducky? I'm just going to call you Ducky. I love it. That name's sick. That name is sick. So this is for you. Let's see if I can find the right sounds. Do I have my yay? I don't remember which one is which, to be honest anymore. I'm gonna do this one for you. That's for you, Ducky. Jamu as well. I have other ones, but that one works for now. Appreciate you. Appreciate the follow. That means a lot. Hitting the old heartstrings. Let's go. You're awesome. Okay, let me continue, if you guys don't mind. I had to kind of decipher and figure out what I was doing wrong. But there you go. My pain is your gain. It's easy to make mistakes. A lot of it, yeah, it was just the my variable names. You know, you got to be clear on which variable you're using. Okay, let's create a new. We're gonna create a new one. I'm gonna get rid of that. We're gonna call it add to nums. Okay, we're gonna call it add to nums. All right. So one of the fastest ways of doing this, I guess, is start with your declaration. It's up to you guys. A lot of times I'll just start with my definition, and then I'll just copy the header, and again, I put it in the wrong spot because it doesn't really know that that's where I want it. So that's the quickest way of creating your definition. Just highlight it, right click. Now again, I'm using Visual Studio IDE. Okay, so other IDEs might be different. I don't know. They might have that option. I don't know. So quick actions and refactoring, and then create declaration definition. Okay, so now we got to work on our definition. We have to actually give it two variables. We'll just give it x and y. It's good enough. And we're going to return x plus y. Okay, so add two numbers. Real simple. Okay, pretty basic function. All right. Encoding the plus symbol is the adding symbol, so there's no confusion there. Now remember, let me see. I'm just gonna go. Let's see. I forget what that other function name was. Void print function or something. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that because, again, if you're just doing void method functions, like let's say I had void print function. Okay. Whoops. And it would be something like, I don't know. We'll just create anything. It doesn't really matter. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go like this, and line. I'm trying to continue with this. I'm gonna do this. And then I'm going to do this. I love that sound. Bling, bling, bling. I'm not sure if that's an I or it could be that. I'm not sure. It could be an I. It's a little longer than, yeah, I think it might be that. Okay, there we go. Thank you for the follow. Let's go, Ducky. Okay. Welcome to the channel, Ducky. What is up here? Oh, right, because it wants me to declare it. Okay, there. So now, oh, I'm missing, you can see the little mistake right there. This program's nice. It kind of gives you a little bit of a heads up. It's like, hey, you're doing something, you're missing something. There's always two colons in your scope resolution operator. Basically, this is for separating the class, because technically this is a class. Okay? We're telling the program, hey, use this class. There's a a function inside here, which is really the O stream. It's kind of overloaded stuff they got going on. The master coders, they do all the background magic for you to make our lives easier. Okay? Even these are overloaded. Anyways, right? And they show up. They've got a reference, a little bit of information there. 31 overloads. You can search online. You might even be able to view the code. But we're not going to get into that because that's a huge sidetrack. All right. So there we go. Print ducky. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave that there as a matter of fact. I'm going to go like this. Control X. These are... I'm just going to put it up here. There we go. It's not really where you put a function. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Normally it's kind of called later on after your local variables and such. It's kind of after. There's kind of like a sequence, the way you lay out your instructions. Okay. So again, take note, guys. This is a void function. A void doesn't have a return, and you don't need to create a new variable for a void function. That's the difference, right? Right? You're probably wondering why I have to create a new variable for an int. Well, it's because I have to store that value into a new variable. That's why. We're going to do it again. Okay, the little details are kind of important. Let me build this and make sure everything's good and run this. Let's go. Boom. Let me do this as well. And as a matter of fact, I kind of want that enter before. Okay. And we'll run it again with some space. There you go. That's how you give yourself some space. Okay. All right. Awesome. These are the kind of things I like to do. All right. So this is one way of creating a void function. Now let's do this. Okay. All right. We're going to get into talking about cin now. All right. So I have to talk about it a little bit. Let me bring it up here in my documents. Let me open my stream. Okay, we're going to talk. I'm going to just show you some information on the cin. What we have C out. There's also a cin. Okay, what does cin do? Okay, cin. What does cin do? Is that an M I used? It's supposed to be an N. Okay. All right, let me look for the information so I could give you the proper terminology. Here we go. I'll bring it up on screen. What? Why'd you move? How does that even happen? I literally put it to the spot I wanted it at, and then it just moved on its own. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, don't move. Stay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have standard C out. Again, guys, I actually have my GitHub link now. I'll maybe post it in chat. I have this is kind of my C++ notes, aka novel. It's literally has 137,000 characters now, almost 138,000 characters. It's pretty long. I've got maybe 1/4 of this document on my GitHub. Now, I know with my GitHub, it's not really set up the atypical way of doing things on GitHub. I just have more of a lot of information that I've been sharing on GitHub. That's really all I have there. So it's not really set up the atypical way of doing things. But if you need some additional reading notes, it's there for you guys and gals, okay? Again, I'll paste my GitHub here shortly. Okay, so we have standard CN, which is called the standard input stream. Okay, I stream, input stream. I stream, O stream, let's get some ice cream. I don't know. I just thought I would throw that in there. Okay, and then if you notice with the CN, these operators change direction. So I kind of look at like the less than and greater than sign. I think of it like Pac-Man. Everybody's got to know what Pac-Man is, right? So it's like, how do you remember which way is which? Well, I always go, Pac-Man wants to eat the larger number. So whichever the mouth is facing, right? So if you're comparing two values, that's what I do, right? Pac-Man wants to eat the larger number. And that's how you do it. Less than. 6 is less than 8, right? Here the direction of the mouth is going this way. So we want to go out. We want to go out. And this is in. Okay, in. All right? I don't know if that helps, but just kind of giving you guys a little tips on learning. What's up? Phone's ringing. Give me a sec, guys. Bear with me. All right, I'm back. It's one of those unwanted calls, so I answered it and then just hung up. How long have I been coding? 3 years. Jamu. Over 3 years. And pretty much, as crazy as it sounds, every day, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Sometimes I took breaks. I've been doing C++, C#, and Unity. You can check out my YouTube channel. I got all the goodies there. Okay, let's continue. All right, so this is so what does CN do? Well, basically CN is so that the user, it's kind of being more interactive with the console. Okay, you're actually interactive with the program. That's the great thing about CN. Okay, so we've created our method here. I haven't really done anything. They recommend brackets, so you can put brackets. Brackets don't hurt. It's just like when you're doing PEDMAS, BEDMAS. Brackets are a good thing. You can actually output apparently information as well. So this is just to show the values that have been received, okay, through the method. Values received. Okay. And then I'm going to go like this. We're going to go X. And space. And Y. I know it's a little bit. And then we're going to also have a new line as well. Okay. I'm gonna start using this more so than this. I just wanted this here just to show you guys and gals. It's just another way of doing end line or new line. Okay. So basically, when this method, these are our parameters. Okay. If I call it method, just bear with me, guys. I know that's incorrect to say. I know they're functions, but you just start, when you're working with classes, you just get to the point where you just start calling functions methods. I don't know, it's just the way it is. But and methods, I think, is a lot easier to say than functions is ours is. Okay? But anyways, this function has two parameters. It's going to take in information. It's taking in. So we have to pass it in, passing it in our int main. So when we actually call our function, we have to pass in values. Okay, that's what we have here. That's what it means. Okay, I'm going to look up here, and I think, well, we'll get into I didn't really talk about passing by reference and stuff yet. It has to do with the stack and that stack memory. Okay, we haven't talked about it yet, but it's called referencing and dereferencing. Okay, pointers essentially. We'll get there. I'll use them later on, but right now what's happening is when I pass in values, I'm actually making copies. Okay, so because we're creating a new variable in the sense. All right, but anyways, to carry on, we need parameters. So what? Okay, all right, okay. Just looking at their little script here. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this so that it's not so as confusing as what they have. So I could put them up here. So we need two new variables. Okay, we need two variables in our int main here. Okay, guys, we're kind of working on an int function here. So let me show you what you have to do, the process for when you're getting a user to enter values. User entering values. Okay, you'll love this, guys. This is being more interactive with the software or the program. Okay, all right, so I'm going to create a value. I'm just going to call it we actually have it up here already. But what I'm going to do is, there's two ways of doing this, but I'm just going to, you have to actually initialize them to something. Okay? All right. Now the reason I'm making them 0 is because we need a starting value. That starting value or beginning value is going to be 0. Okay? There's another way of doing this, but we'll worry about it later. Stay tuned. All right, so we've declared, we've initialized. All right, otherwise it's going to be this variable. Right now this variable is storing the value 0. Okay, it's local, it's on the stack, essentially stack memory, and it's holding the value 0. It has its own memory address, but at that memory address is the value 0. Okay, you might as well kind of have an understanding of that right now. That's we're talking about memory and storage a little bit now. Okay, so we have to get the user to enter those values. Okay, so I've declared them, I've initialized them. Let's get the user to store those values. I should have a cout as well, but that's okay. So we're going to have one for that. And then I could have like some sort of prompt. I call this a prompt, a user prompt. Okay? It's just a string literal. User, please enter your X value. Okay? I'll go like this. Essentially, that's what we're doing. I'm not going to have, I want a space, okay, so that the cursor is flashing. There's a space between the colon, right? So add a space, but I don't want an enter. I actually want the cursor to be right here, flashing when we run the program. And I didn't type that right, okay? And then I'm going to duplicate this. But when you copy and paste, be careful, guys, right? Make sure you update your copy and paste. Okay, that's where you can kind of make mistakes too. I'm doing this just to separate things a little bit. Okay? All right. So we've declared and initialized our variables. They're holding a value of 0. When we run the program, we're going to get the user to enter new values. Those new values entered by the user in the console are going to be automatically stored in the variable. So the variable is going to get updated. The variable it has its own address in memory, okay? Wherever that is in memory, we don't know, we don't care really, okay? All right, it's just like a delivery, somebody delivering food. Every house has to have an address, right? So the computer needs to know where to go to get that information, right? The computer needs to know where to go to make the food delivery. Make sense? I hope so. Okay, so now at this point we've got the user to enter those values. Now we need to store those values. We need to pass them in to our method, okay? But here we go. Remember, we're working with an int variable, so you got to create a new variable. This is called add two numbers. I'm going to call it two nums added. Okay, and it's going to equal here. I've already declared it, so putting int in front is basically declaring. And this inline, okay? And I'm going to paste. There we go. So I have to pass in. So now I'm passing in my variables. Remember, they don't have to be the same, guys. Okay? This is local. This is local in the main, what we're doing here. Okay? This is global, essentially. You can look at it like that. It's outside the main. So the variables can be different. It's fine. Okay, so inline. So the calculation will get done. Does it print? Oh, well, yeah, it still holds the value. We'll see. I don't know. Normally you don't put these, right? This is kind of extra. Because we're inside this function, I need to put it inside so that it prints out the two values. So this line here is going to print out the two values that we passed in. We're passing in whatever the user enters, okay? Finish with that with a semicolon. So when it says values received, take note that we're going to be inside the function, okay? When it prints this line, take note, when the compiler runs, we're going to be actually inside this function, okay? And then again, hopefully you're following along. You know that a program is executed line by line in the order it appears in your source code until a function is reached. What happens when it leaves the function? It just goes back to the last position it was at in the main and continues line by line. That's what it does. Okay, so we entered. We're calling. I mean, I could write that, I guess. A lot of this extra stuff in the course outline is kind of over the top extra information. What it's trying to do is it's trying to show you how it works line by line. Okay, that's what it's trying to do. Okay, so now it's saying we're calling the function. Essentially, I'm gonna go like this. That's this point right here. We're basically calling the function right here. Okay, but we have to store it in some value, right? We have to store that calculated value into something. And that's what this is. It's going to take that value. Okay? And then, so now I did everything in line. And then blah, blah, blah. Okay? So the new value. So let's return. Make sure I use the right variable this time. This one, okay? We want to return this value, not that one. We want to return this one. Okay, boom. And boom, and boom, okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm just printing the same name as a string literal. And I have to actually call, it's not really calling. I have to access that variable's value, and that's how we do it here, right? We're calling it. We are essentially kind of calling it off the stack. I just don't want to. I don't really feel comfortable using that term. We're accessing it off memory this way, right? We're asking the compiler, hey, get that value that's in memory, right? This variable has an address. It knows where to go. It's gonna grab that value and print it out. Okay. Hopefully I haven't messed anything up. Let's build. Oh, my binary operators is the wrong way. Right? I knew immediately. Binary, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I already explained this to you guys. Right? So I just had my CN, right? So that's good that you guys could see this. Okay? When you're C outing, you're going out. When you're C inning, if you don't mind me saying that, you're going this direction. So your operator signs, I stream, these ones are called O stream. Okay. Whoops. Come on, bring it up. I'm trying to move my, there we go, I did it. Standard operator, char traits, you don't really have to worry about, again, when you get more advanced, you'll be writing code like this. Okay, that's kind of overloading. This is all part of overloading, which we'll talk about. Even functions could be overloaded. But anyways, you can see that there's an ampersand and that there's an asterisk. Okay, basically this is pointers and dereferencing. Okay, or passing by reference and then dereferencing. Okay, O-stream. O-stream, just think of it as your input-output stream, whatever is inputting and outputting to the console. Okay, the direction is critical. Okay, otherwise you get errors like I have. Okay, errors are good. You guys get to see what's up. Right now you'll be able to debug quicker too, right? Because you're seeing what to do and what not to do. And this is me doing this helps you not have to pull your hair out. Okay, let's run this. Okay, hello chat. I'm inside another block of code. I can get rid of that now. Welcome to the channel, Ducky. So now it's prompting me. This is where we can be interactive with the console now. Okay, check it out. Okay, user, please enter your X value. Okay, let's say I was doing, I don't know, trigonometry or something, right? 7. You notice how I have a space? I like that. Hit enter. Now press Now, please enter your y value. Okay, I don't know, 15. Again, they're integers, so I wrote the program so I know what the values are supposed to be. And there we go. So now I hit enter. Boom. It's saying calling. This is the actual wrong function name. I should have updated the function name, but that's okay. Values received. Look at that. Take note, guys. This is from inside our function. Okay. This is from inside our main. This is from inside our function. And this is back to our main. So I can actually organize the code a little bit. I'll change this. Let me update it. We got the right answer, 7 plus 15, right? So check this out. Okay, so the two numbers added. Let me just go like this, so you guys can see. The part I'm explaining right now is to show you kind of to help you have a better understanding of what's happening line by line. Where does the program go when you're running the code, right? Right? You need to understand this. If you can think like a computer, okay, you'll be able to kind of debug and decipher stuff quicker. I think I need a \n here as well. Let me just build that. Okay. So, in our main, we got all this information. Yes, we do. But at this point, when we call our function, I gotta update this name here. Okay, there we go. I'm calling that function, right? This function. And control F5. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I don't know. We'll do some different numbers. 12 and 5. Okay. Boom. So calling our function. The values received are 12 and 5. So let me just go like this. Like this, actually. See that? This line here is from our function. Okay. At this point, we're inside our function. Okay, right here. Okay. Once it reaches these curly braces, or this last brother and sister, once it reaches the sister curly brace, then it jumps back to calling. So it's right here at the end, then it goes to here. Boom. Okay. And that's right here now. So now we're back in main. That's why I wrote this, so that you can see. Right? So we're entering our values from the main. Yes, we are. Goes to the function, does its magic inside the function, leaves the function, goes back into the main, returns this line, and then it also returns the value that was stored, right? We need to store that calculation that was done. We need to store it into something. Like, it's stored, it's there somewhere in memory, but we haven't really stored it anywhere. How do I say that? Like, let me exit this. Right? I'm not sure. The numbers are kind of put in. They're passed in. Right? At this point, they're passed in. We do have the return line. We can run the program. If we don't call it here, the numbers are kind of just in limbo, right? So the point is we have to take those values that we pass in and put them somewhere, right? And we're putting them into this new variable. That's what we're doing. Okay? All right, we're taking them from being just values kind of going nowhere, and we're passing them in. is calling it passing it in the same thing? I don't know. I need a new word for that. Storing. Storing would be a better word. We've passed these values into here, into our method, right? The user's passing them in, and then we have to store them. So we're storing them into this new variable. We need the new variable, and that's why, again, be careful of what you're doing when you're returning it back to the console, because we want to see what that value is. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so again, guys, if I'm over explaining it, just please bear with me. Have an understanding that, you know, C++ can be a challenging program or language to learn for, you know, I'm not going to say all people, you know, some people. Okay, so just have patience. All right, I'm kind of trying to explain it in a way so to help the ones that are maybe struggling a little bit. Okay, if you already understand what's up, feel free to kind of just skip forward, right? You can hit the old arrow buttons on your keyboard or whatever you're doing on your phone. Just kind of skip forward, okay? It's great to have you. It really, truly is. Just, I want you to understand, right? I might be doing a lot of repetitive repeating in that, but it's to help you guys learn and kind of retain the information. And I want to try to reuse the same lingo and coding terminology over and over again, so that, you know, we're using the right terminology, the right lingo. And the more I say things, the better you're going to get at understanding. So anyways, it's great to have every single one of you. Truly is. Thank you for the views. It's you guys and gals that keep this going. I'm doing this, right? I'm enjoying doing this. Okay? I may not be the best teacher, but I'm trying. Okay? All right. So we're storing those values, that addition process. We're storing it into this variable. Okay? And in order to see that value, we have to tell the console to return it. Okay? Again, make sure you use the right variable. Don't derp like I did. It wasn't that bad, guys. Okay, I have this analogy. If it takes the newbie guy that got hired, if it takes him 8 hours to figure out that they use the they used the wrong variable. That's why I build it. Watch, I'll build it. We're gonna get garbage. Essentially, that's what that was. Oh, so I have to go 5 and 12, and it's gonna return garbage, right? That's what that is. Okay, it does look like similar to a hexadecimal address in memory, but it's not, right? So my point is, it only took me 5 minutes to figure out, you know, I kind of had to go backwards and undo everything, and then eventually I remembered, oh yeah, I know what I did. Right? I was using the wrong variable. Hence why I changed the order of the variable, so I didn't do that again. Control Shift B, Control F5, 12, 6, boom, 18. Okay, drop in the yays, because why not? How are we doing for time? Half an hour still. Hang on a sec. I need more coffee. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Woo! Boy. We really did a lot there, didn't we? Okay, so you guys have learned a few new things today. Okay? We're taking it up another notch, right? Isn't that awesome? Being interactive, more interactive with the console, right? It makes programming a lot more fun, guys, because you're actually inputting information now instead of outputting. You're actually inputting too. It's great. It's a great feeling. Okay, so I'm going to remove all this and this. I'm just deleting the int, okay? Well, I'll keep my print function, print follower. I'm just going to call it that for now. So anytime you update a name, just make sure you update it everywhere in code. Again, there is 3 areas of functions: declaration area, the definition area, and lastly, in the body of our main, the invoking your function area. Okay, so if you notice, right, that's the difference with a void function. You don't need that. There's no such thing as well, I guess you could write void for a variable, but you don't need one. Okay, we don't need to create technically speaking, there's no such thing as a void variable. Okay, but the point is, right, void doesn't have a return, right? With a return, you just have to remember, with a return, you need to create a new variable that'll store the information from your function. Okay, I know I'm kind of backtracking again, but that's just a little bit more information. All right, again, a void function, you could call it just like this. This is called calling our function, just like that. That's it. It's that easy. Okay, build, run, make sure we're good. Boom. Nice. Okay, so I have this comment here: clean up and exit program. We're not really, technically speaking, there's stuff happening in the background with the cleaning up. I'm not doing any cleaning up per se. We have the system pause. Let me just do this. Maybe some of you are wondering, what does this line mean, right? What's it doing? Okay. Pause null. What is the system? Here we go. I'll just bring this up like this. Okay. The command system pause null is commonly used in C++ programs on Windows to pause the console after the program has finished executing, preventing it from closing immediately. Okay, so that's what it's doing, guys. Otherwise, the console will just flash in your face and then immediately close. Okay, that's what that line is doing. This allows the user to view any output before the window disappears. Okay? That's some good information right there. All right. Right, I still haven't given you guys the GitHub yet. I better do that now before I carry on. I just wanted, let me see, the pause part. I wanted to kind of let's see, int main. I just want to update my my novel here, my book. Okay, just want to update some information to it. But I'm looking for my int main section. I guess here would be good. Whoops. And boom. Okay. And go like this. Let me just go like this. Right here. Control C. And I'm just updating some information here. I'm trying to be quick, guys. Okay, Control V. Boom. Tab, tab, tab. Okay, boom. Tab, tab. I guess I'll go like that. Tab, tab. Okay, and bring this down and there. Okay. And there. All right. Okay, that's saved. Now, GitHub. Okay. I'll paste it into comments in chat here, and I will also put it on screen. That's for any of you that are interested. It's there. I got more than just that going on over. I got a C++ section and I have a C# section. Okay. Am I on the right one here? I have to find the right document here. Okay. Is this it? Yeah, I found it. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. All right. And then here's the link. Okay, boom. All right, and I'll just paste it into chat here quickly as well. All right, what happened? Did that work? It's weird. Okay, there we go. Forward slashes, it didn't like that. Control X, Control V, and chat. There we go. Okay, boom. See, I went to YT because that's originally where I started kind of doing things, guys, just so you understand here in Twitch land. And I'm like, I felt like my commitment was to YT, so that's why I kind of went to YT and started doing things. And as a matter of fact, I kind of regret that decision because I feel like YT just turned their back on me, and like it's just kind of what it feels like. I've had the channel for 10 years. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I'm guessing 10 years. It's been more than 8, I'm sure of it. And it's really hasn't had a lot of growth, okay? It's been like meh. So which makes me feel like, do I have to do lying videos and clickbaity videos to get views? Is that how the world works? Anyways, I'm not really that type of person to do that kind of stuff. So I tried and I tried and I tried. I tried to grow. I tried, and I'm like, I'm still trying, still pushing, still grinding. I'm still to this day still trying, still pushing, still grinding, right? Just trying to get ahead in life, you know? So I'm like, you guys, YT, what's up? So I'm like, because now it's left a kind of a bad taste in my mouth, because I'm like, I feel like I turned my back on so many friends and stuff here in Twitch land that I'm literally a donkey. I'm literally a donkey for doing that. And it's been great to see some of my old friends here on Twitch kind of dropping by, like Jamu, for example, commenting, right? Because none of them have seen me for so long, because I had my values and my I just had it all wrong. I had it all twisted, I guess, and I should have never left Twitch, right? Because I have way more followers on Twitch than I do on YT. I do one video, I got a lot of views on it, but then it just kind of downslides after. But not on Twitch. You guys have been consistent with the views. You guys are way more consistent. It's like, what's with people on, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I would like to see, YT be doing a little bit better. So the only reason this content ends up on YT is because, because I'm not affiliated with Twitch by all means. Like, I'm still a nobody. So my videos are only saved for like 1 week. So, and I don't want to lose the streams. So I'm kind of uploading them to YouTube just so I don't lose them, right? Otherwise, the people on YouTube, and no offense, YouTube, my supporters on YouTube, right? No offense to you guys, right? I just wanted to see better growth. That's why you guys haven't seen me as much. So I wanted to get back to Twitch because, I've lost a few friends over here because, I'm just like, I actually feel bad. I do. I feel like a donkey. I really do. So I'm very sincerely apologetic for making the wrong decision, guys. I truly mean that. It's great to see some of you dropping in and saying hello and that. If I see you live, I'm going to drop in, say hello, drop a comment. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. All right, it's not an easy grind. It's not. It truly isn't. So let's continue and let's finish up. How much time do we have? We're still okay for a little bit. I'm trying to keep the videos around 2 hours. I hope that's good for you guys, right? It is a lot of information to take in. Okay, I don't have to go over all the details because we already kind of did. Methods versus functions, all right? We're going to continue reading with our course outline. Here we go. And I know I've explained this, but I'll just read it anyways. A function by any other name is still just a function, okay? It is worth noting here that different programming languages and different programming methodologies, right? There are other languages that call functions methods. That's right. I forgot about that. Anyways, I'm in the C++ world, so, and the C# world. I don't do that any of those other languages. To me, they're, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. And different programming methodologies might refer to functions as a different term, right? It's just semantics, right, guys? One of the more common terms used is the term method, okay? In regards to C++ and I believe C# as well, if a function is called a method, really it's just a method. A method is just a function inside a class, okay? Method is simply another term for functions that are part of a class, okay? The difficulty in learning a complex subject such as programming. Again, I use the word complex. Don't set your guys' brain molecules into, oh my god, it's complex. Oh, the humanity. I quit. No, don't do that, okay? All right? Don't be so weak. I hate to say it like that. I'm not being mean, okay? All right? Persevere, right? Persevere! Pretending you're a coding warrior, Okay, you can do it. I believe in you guys. You can do it! I do have a statement that I usually say. Let's see, is it in here? I just wanted to paste it in chat here quickly. I know we haven't really done much in the last few minutes, but now you have the GitHub link. Again, there's two sections. I kind of separated it into C++ has its own area or section, and C# has its own area or section. Okay. Again, the way I've got GitHub set up, it's not really the atypical way of doing things. But GitHub kind of has a way of doing things. Okay. Let's see. Come on. I want to find my quote. That's what I want to find. Okay. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. Actually, this is a good quote. And I know a lot of people might not be a fan, but okay. Here's another quote I like to paste. And there's one more. Is that the one? Well, this is another good one. I got a few quotes here, which are good, right? Just to, help you guys out, right? Keep you positive, keep you focused. There are going to be struggling days, okay? All right? Everybody has them, okay? Persevere. And I don't have a mod, of course. I'm just a solo dolo guy, so I got to do all this stuff. Once I find that quote, I'll let you know. Let's see. Maybe I already posted it. Let's see. I got a few documents, so it's like trying to remember which one it's in. Is it this one? Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. I don't know. You guys could grab something really quick while I do this. Grab something to drink. It's one of my favorite ones. Like I like to paste in. I gotta really make note of where it is, so I'm not having to do this all the time. Where is that? I'm gonna cry. Oh, the humanity. Here we go. Here's some humor. I like doing this. That one's a good one. Okay, maybe this is the document. How's your day going, by the way? You learning? You enjoying the content? I hope so. I certainly hope so. If I don't find it here shortly, there it is. I found it. I found it. There it is. You learn more from failure than from success. Don't let it stop you. Failure builds character, okay? Real character, okay? Such a good quote. I love it. I don't know. I'm gonna put here. Okay, just so I'm like I can find it quicker. Best quote. There we go. Bets quote. I type bets instead of best. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. I better keep it separated. Okay, there we go. Quotes. All right. Oh man, please tell me that's gonna work. Okay. All right. Okay, save it. All right, let's continue. Thank you for your patience, guys and gals. We're kind of at the end of this one section. So the difficulty in learning a complex subject such as programming is that so much of what you learn depends on everything else there is to learn. Wild. Okay, today's lesson introduced the basic parts of a simple C++ program. Okay, so things to, just as a kind of a recap, right? Oh, I don't know why that's uncommon. I don't need that because then I'm including it into my source file, right? Because this is an actual file on your system, right? Bits and bytes, guys, bits and bytes. We're not using strings, so I don't need to include it. I do need to include the IO stream, because we're using the standard library, right? The input outstream standard library. So you need this one. This is like literally the first thing you just write. If you've been following along, we started this brand new. Okay, so what does the include do? Okay, this is a directive to the preprocessor, which runs when you call your compiler. This specific directive causes the file inside the brackets, okay, named after the word include to be read in. It's read in. It's kind of, that's the first thing it kind of does when you run it. It reads this in as if it were typed in that location in your source code, right? This is actually somewhere, I don't know, it could be, I don't know where they store it, where it's actually placed. Could be part of your IDE, but it's on your file system somewhere, okay? And it kind of gets copied into your source. Okay, what is the difference between double forward slash, right? We've talked about this. This is an easy one, right? Okay. Right? So I've got it up here, 2 forward slashes. This is a single line comment, right? And right here is a multi-line, but I've typed it in such a way that it's still a single line. But whenever you see forward slash, 2 asterisks, and an ending forward slash, basically I could write a novel. Multi-line, guys, multi-line. You can have spaces, you could go on and on and on. Okay? Comments are just for you. Again, you can have comments usually they're above, right? So I don't know, returns, I don't know what would be the right thing to do. To console most recent follower. Okay? Okay, that's what that's doing. I don't know if that's the right way of typing it, but it basically says what it does, right? Okay, so there you go. Single line, multi-line comments. It's up to you which ones you want to use. What differentiates let's see. Not to end the function. I'm just trying to, I'm still kind of on the comments part. It says, remember, not even the end of the function terminates a /-* comment, right? Yeah, that's the other key thing. None of this is returned, right? It's just think of it, it's ignored, right? The compiler doesn't care about this. The compiler doesn't care, okay? It pretty much, the compiler looks at it just like all this space here. It means nothing to the compiler, right? I could have all this space, it's still gonna run and build, right? It's not gonna display all that space in the console because it's almost like it does not exist. It's right. The only way to get space in your console is to actually put the space inside your string literals, right? Okay. Okay, all right, let's continue. What differentiates a good comment from a bad comment? A good comment tells the reader why this particular code is doing whatever it is doing, or explains what a section of code is about to do, right? Section of code, block of code, however you want to look at it. Okay, a bad comment restates, right? It's kind of like, don't be the Captain Obvious and state the obvious, right? That's not a good comment, okay? Don't be a Captain Coder. Captain Coder! I don't know. I rolled with it, okay, guys? A bad comment restates what a particular line of code is doing. Lines of code should be written so that they speak for themselves. A well-written line of code should tell you what it is doing without needing a comment, okay? All right, don't be that fish, right? Hey guys, look, it's water. Okay, don't be that stupid fish, because there's already too many stupid fish in the world, right? You guys know I'm not talking about you because you're watching this. I already know you're intelligent, beautiful, intelligent people. That's a given, man. Guy, girl, it's a given, totally given. I know you're 120 IQ already. I mean, I don't need to explain it, right? I have this theory, okay? But that's not for this channel. So we have a quiz if you want. What is the difference between the compiler and the preprocessor? You could kind of do that if you want. Why is the function main special, right? These are kind of review questions. What are the two types of comments and how do they differ? Can comments be nested? So what they mean by nested is, here you have a block of code and here you have another block of code. Okay, really I'm nesting. Okay, can comments be nested inside other comments? Well, I guess I could type stuff and then I could still have another double forward slash. It actually doesn't even, it looks at it as like it's text, right? No different. So as soon as I hit enter, it actually creates a couple of new double forward slashes, right? So even though I did this inside the comments, that's not really a multi-line here, guys. Okay, it's still just text. As far as the compiler is concerned, or the program, it's just text. Right? You notice how if I go like this, right? This is actual multi-line, right? I can hit enter. There's no double forward slashes. Okay, but if I try to do that here, again, this is already commented out. This is a single line. But if I go like this, hit enter, it creates two new double forward slashes. Okay, there you go. Delete. Can comments be longer than one line? We haven't really done that, but I mean, if I go like this, we're gonna end up outside. Yeah, see how it jumps down? It automatically, it wraps it. Essentially, it's wrapping it for you without creating a new double forward slash. It still looks at it as a long single line. You don't want to write your code like that anyways, but you can get lengthy code where it wraps, and you can wrap, let's say you have a long set of parameters, right, or something to that effect. It can be wrapped. Okay, write a program that writes I love C++ to the console. Okay, there's some practice for you, okay? I'm not going to do it. You guys practice, okay? Get your own IDE. Again, I'm recommending Visual Studio. That's my recommendation. Again, there's other ones such as JetBrains or CodeBlocks. Those are the other two I tried. They're not bad. I don't have hate on them. And again, there's a terminal I'm using. There's another Visual Code is another one. I find it's more of a preference thing. I think Visual Code uses a terminal, so I don't do any terminal scripting so much. I should probably learn it and try it. For me, it's no different than, I guess, writing Linux code or something, but I like popping up the console. It's easier, you know. Yeah, but that's okay. Whatever you decide, right? Again, that's the community version, okay? Take note. Community version. And the most recent version is 17.14.12, okay? As per this stream. Write the smallest program that can be called and run, okay? I would have to delete all this, but if I delete all this, here we go. You want to see the smallest code that could be written and run? I guess. I mean, really. This is because I got rid of the return and all that, so this is common. There you go, that's the smallest one. I don't know how else you could make it smaller. Nothing in it would be another way to make it smaller. Like nothing returned. Okay? As an example, I guess. Control-Shift-B to build, Control-F5 to run, EX to exit. Fix the bug in this exercise, okay? I guess I'll kind of do like a practice one for you guys here. Okay? What do they have? They have oh yeah, here we go. So the bug is, and I'm just gonna undo it. Really all they have is this. They have the include IO stream, okay? Nothing's wrong there. That line looks good. They got the hashtag, okay? You need the hashtag always. And then they got main, okay? Right? What's wrong there? Well, it's obvious, right? You have to always declare your function, right? So, what type of function is it? I guess technically speaking, this could be void as well. But I think that's kind of just done. Whoops. Done with, right? So there, I fixed the bug, okay? And then they had this for a line. I don't see any errors in it. I'll type it verbatim. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it. Okay, you might as well notice the differences. Okay, it's actually one single quote. The program actually, as soon as I hit quotation, it automatically creates two and puts the cursor in between. That's why we could just continue typing, right? So, but the way they have the code written, it was just a single one. So it's obvious what it is, right? Anytime you're doing a string literal, right? String literals, and it's kind of hard to create that because as soon as you hit double quotation, right, it's kind of hard to make that mistake because the program actually gives you double quotes instantly. But let's say you accidentally, I don't know, whatever happened, maybe accidentally deleted it, and you're looking at your code and going, what is wrong here? What is wrong? What is wrong, right? Right, you can see that the string literal is not the same color, right? So automatically your eye goes, oh, I'm missing my quote, right? Okay, let's see. So that one function, the add function that I did earlier, why don't you create your own subtract function? Okay, do the same thing, right? That is it for this. Next video, we're going to get into working with variables and constants. Isn't that going to be fun? Constants are important and great to have. There we go. I'm inside another block of code. I'm a string literal, and welcome to the channel. And I could actually add a new line there and build and run. I could actually just hit, it'll build it if you just hit it, Control F5. I just wanted to add an extra space, that's all. And as a matter of fact, I have too many spaces going on down here, it seems, but that's okay. Because my print method actually has a space as well. So that's where I'm getting that extra space. Control Shift, whoops, and Control F5. Right, I can see my cursor's up one more level here. Okay, boom. There we go. All right, that's it. Johnny WhiskeyTango coding, also a lone soldier on Twitch. I'm done kind of with the gaming. I'd rather play, you know, with legit players. I'd rather play against bots or zombies than to play against cheaters. So that's just me. I mean, how bad do you have to be that you need to cheat? It's pretty pathetic. I'm going to leave it at that. Johnny WhiskeyTango coding, lone soldier as well. Whoever you are, wherever you are, have a great rest of your day, guys and gals. Much love. Ducky, thank you for the follow. We'll see you guys next video. Take care for now. Peace out. Peace.